Dusty Wright Show at culturecatch.com. The very lovely Tilda Swinton. Tilda.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hi, Dusty.
This role, Julia.
Yeah.
Bit of a roller coaster. Redemptive, maybe.
You know, it's all in the eye of the beholder. At least, let's say, if you're thinking your life's out of control when you come out of the cinema, you'll think, well, at least it's not like that. I mean, I hope. Maybe someone might go and see the film and think, God, I wish my life was that simple. I wish my life was only about being a completely over-the-top suicidal alcoholic who abducts a child for money.
And you know, I like the fact that it was film noir style as opposed to the typical American drama. Well, it took a Frenchman to make the movie, so
it's a very French film,
yeah.
I think.
I mean, she's got to pay, right? I mean, it's not even like she can go to the cops. I mean, it's the double cross of a lifetime. And in the money, it's right there. It's right there. I can smell it. And they can go anywhere they want. They can go to Mexico. They can go to Bueno Bye Bye, and we can go where the we like.
Julia, where did you get this idea, huh?
Nick, you know my life. You know my life. You know it. I'm so sick of it. I work like a dog, and where's the money? I mean, I don't know. It's like goes through my fingers. I mean, I don't know where. I'm tired.
Eric Zonka is a phenomenon. He really is. I mean, it's. He made one film, The Dream Life of Angels, which I think was shown here. Another film that won't have been because it was only shown on French television called Le Petit Voleur, The Little Thief. So now there are 3 Zonka films, so one can begin to see a kind of the Zonkerism. And he's, for my money, he's a really modern filmmaker. He's very interested in a kind of documentary texture. He'll look at a character, or not even a character, it's more a person really, because he's really not interested in anything looking particularly put together. And he'll watch this person. I think of it as a zoological attitude. He's the sort of David Attenborough of feature filmmaking. He'll look at a person and he'll follow them like a dung beetle, and he'll, with this sort of amoral compassion, just look at them doing really quite despicable things like Julia does, and not judge them. You know, just keep with her, keep watching, keep revealing more and more of her predicament, but in I think a very loving way. Not there is no judgment, and that's challenging for audiences.
Well, I was going to say, there is not the traditional Hollywood character arc. You are left to decide who she will or may
You're also,
become.
It's not explained either.
Right.
I mean, that's something that was very important to us. I think it's very easy to fall into the trap of explaining away. Having the idea that you can explain away somebody else to somebody. You can say, you know what, she was abused by her. Oh, right, that explains everything. Well, nothing ever explains anything, let's face it, to another person.
Well, that's true life. And again, I think we see a lot more of this with European or indie filmmakers than we do with the typical Hollywood system. Did he have you in mind from the get-go?
Well, we have a very funny history, which is that we met in Cannes at the film festival years ago, about 5 or 6 years ago.
Excuse me. Sounds like all New York is
they're
burning.
coming to get me.
This is extraordinary.
We just have to talk really, really fast, and then they'll come crashing through the door. It's swine flu. It's swine-ton flu. It's breaking out as we speak.
It sounds like they're going to be stopping right in front of this building.
He's here, officer.
I didn't mean, you know, there's a whole nother darker side to Dusty. If you only knew.
Well, I was saying that Julie was a documentary, and maybe they took it seriously. Maybe some police officers saw the film and thought it's me. Where were we? Oh, Eric Zonka and I. Yeah, we met in Cannes, and we were both in an official capacity at the festival that year. I was presenting a prize, and he was on a jury, I think. And so we both had a right to be at the closing party, and we were both turned away. And we were both really, really annoyed about this. And it became, this is where we met. We met at a door being turned away, both of us. Everybody else was allowed in, and so this was our bond, that we were rejects. And we, hilarious, we tried to get in and involved a fire extinguisher and all sorts of things. Anyway, we didn't see each other again, and I overheard a friend saying that he was developing a film for me. I And I thought, that's insane. I mean, I don't know the
Just
guy
from
at
this
all.
one encounter.
From this one encounter, and I'm pretty certain he was drunk, so I don't know what he could remember. Obviously, you know, he assumed I was, so he wrote Julia. But anyway, and I think during the 5 years it took for him to get it together, he was thinking of developing it in different places. It wasn't always going to be an American story. It was
Interesting. I wondered
possibly
about
going
that,
to be European. He needed a border
Right.
between two places that was as extreme as the border between Mexico and the United States can be. And he looked for it in Europe and he couldn't quite see it, and eventually he settled on it being an American story. And I think there was a time when he was talking to other American actresses. There was a time when he was looking for people who, what they call, meant something. And then he obviously just got beaten down. And
The dollar, the almighty
the
dollar.
almighty dollar.
How are you going to get distribution without that?
Good Lord.
God forbid
Can't
they use
think.
an Academy Award-winning
Well,
actress.
by the way, yeah, well, strange things do sometimes happen.
In preparing for roles, and this role or any role, are you able to switch off at night, or do you carry it all the way through?
No, it's dressing up and playing, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, there was a certain amount of preparation that I had to do for this part to just look convincing, because the truth is I haven't been drinking hard for 25 years, and I don't, well, you may disagree, but I don't think I, necessarily look like I have. And so I needed to, I wanted to make a different body for her, and I wanted her to feel really sort of properly wasted, and I wanted an excuse to eat a lot of pasta and chain smoke a lot, which I did.
You get to binge and purge with the roles.
It's all work.
Yeah.
It's all the preparation.
Or as Olivier said, to Hoffman in Marathon Man, why don't you just act, my boy?
Well, yes, and that is, of course, very true if you're a real actor. But I like to do the work and then play once we start shooting.
Oh, that's good.
So I just, made myself look like Julia, and then I just, stopped
Switched it
working
on.
the second we started shooting.
I loaned some money to this woman. And she's not paying me back.
Oh, girl, you need Leon.
But here's the good news. I think I have a way to stop her.
And that is?
She's got problems with her kid. Okay, she's been a bad mother, and the kid is it's supposed to go to a foster home, and she's hiding the kid. So I figured, if I steal the kid, and
Stop. Hold on a
I
second.
just want to scare her a little.
How much attention you for?
5,000.
And
You work with some extraordinary directors. Are there any directors you've yet to work with?
Many.
Yeah.
They've
That
just
you
yet
like at
to
dream
ring me up.
projects that you say, God, I wish I would have been able to get an audition, or they would have chosen me for that role. Anything come to mind?
You mean films that have been made?
Mm-hmm.
Like A Touch of Evil?
Back when you were prenatal.
By the way, I was going to say,
You were prenatal.
When I
That's
was a
an
glimmer in my
amazing movie.
great
That opening
grandfather's
tracking
eye.
shot, extraordinary.
Oh, I'm always looking for, hoping that there's going to be a message on my answer machine that I don't have from Orson Welles around about 1940 something. No,
Conjuring up the
I'm
spirit.
totally open to offers.
And you just worked with Jim Jarmusch
Yes,
from
for the
my
second
hometown
time.
in Northeast Ohio.
Indeed.
Just coincidentally.
Right.
Oh, that Ohio
Very
stock,
good.
man, we're creative.
But you are, I have to say.
I don't know what it's like. The Highlands of Scotland.
It's you know
something
what?
in the water.
It's something it's swine flu. It's good for people.
Well, with us, it was the tire industry. We had to escape.
It's I'm trying to think if there's no tire sort of link really. Well, oil, I suppose, with the Highlands of Scotland, and of course some music, folk
music. I think in that region of the world, even when they penetrate into the rock and roll world, there's an American thing, which is the birth of our music. All of these islands.
Don't you think that? I think of Highland music. It's the like rock and roll, the folk music, American folk music. I think originally that whole bluegrass thing. It sounds so.
It's so Celtic.
It's so Celtic. It's
Truly.
all the same story. It's
Really?
I drank too much and she left me. What went wrong? It's
Right.
always the same story.